history, women shape the world in ways often overlooked. They've led empires, they've sparked revolutions, they pioneered sciences and fought for justice. Welcome to our series, Women Who Changed the World, where we will be exploring the stories of these remarkable women. Today, we will introduce some of these women to you, and we'll take you on the journey through their life and the change they brought about in the world. Let's step into their world and embrace their lasting legacies.
Throughout history, women have shattered barriers and reshaped the world. Today, we'll journey from ancient Egypt to medieval Europe and China to uncover the lives of 5 extraordinary women who left incredible marks on history. Our story begins with Cleopatra VII, the last pharaoh of Egypt. Born in 69 BCE, Cleopatra wasn't just a ruler. She was a master diplomat, a polyglot, and a strategist. She used her intellect and charm to secure powerful alliances with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony, safeguarding Egypt's independence in a turbulent era. Her reign was marked with immense political challenges, yet Cleopatra held her own, embodying resilience and ambition. To this day, she remains a symbol of power and intrigue in the ancient world. In the vibrant city of Alexandria, another extraordinary woman, Hypatia, stood as a beacon of knowledge. A mathematician, philosopher, and astronomer in the 4th century CE, Hypatia was one of the first known female scientists. She taught at the Neoplatonist school, advancing theories in geometry and astronomy. In a time when ignorance and political strife threatened intellectual progress, Hypatia remained steadfast, a defender of reason and knowledge. Tragically, her life was cut short, but her legacy as a pioneer of science endures. Traveling to medieval China, we meet Wu Zetian, a woman who broke barriers as the only female emperor in Chinese history, rising from a low-ranking concubine to the pinnacle of power in the 7th century. Wu Zetian ruled with both wisdom and determination. She championed educational reforms, elevated talented officials regardless of their backgrounds, and promoted Buddhism as a unifying force. Her reign was not without controversy, but Wu Zetian's impact on Chinese politics and culture remains undeniable. Across continents, a young peasant girl named Joan of Arc rose to lead armies and change the course of French history. Born in 1412, Joan claimed divine visions instructed her to drive out the English during the 100 Years' War. Her courage on the battlefield and unwavering faith rallied the French forces to pivotal victories. Despite her eventual capture and tragic execution, Joan's spirit lives on as a symbol of courage and faith, canonized as a saint and celebrated as a national heroine. Finally, we arrive in medieval Europe, where Hildegard of Bingen transformed spiritual and intellectual thought. A Benedictine abbess, Hildegard was a theologian, composer, and scientist in the 12th century. Her mystical visions inspired groundbreaking writings on nature, medicine, and the cosmos. She composed ethereal music that still resonates today, blending spirituality and creativity. Hildegard's legacy reminds us of the profound power of integrating intellect and faith to inspire generations. These women from different times and places remind us of the enduring strength and brilliance of humanity. Their stories inspire us to break barriers, seek knowledge, and lead with courage. Stay tuned as we uncover more incredible women throughout history in this series. Women Who Changed the World. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. The Enlightenment and the centuries that followed brought seismic shifts in human progress. And with these changes came extraordinary women who left their mark on history. Today we highlight 4 icons: Catherine the Great, Mary Wollstonecraft, Harriet Tubman, and Florence Nightingale, whose lives and legacies transformed their nations and the world. Our journey begins with Catherine the Great, who reigned over Russia from 1762 to 1796. Born in Prussia, Catherine ascended to the throne through a palace coup, but her legacy was built on intellect and leadership. During her reign, she expanded Russia's borders significantly, incorporating regions that strengthened the empire's power and diversity. What truly sets Catherine apart, however, is her embrace of the Enlightenment. She corresponded with great thinkers like Voltaire and Diderot, seeking to modernize Russia's education, governance, and culture. Although her reforms were often limited by political realities, Catherine's vision of intellectual progress and her role as a patron of the arts cemented her place as one of history's great monarchs. Across Europe, the Enlightenment inspired revolutionary ideas about human rights, and Mary Wollstonecraft became a trailblazer for women's equality. In 1792, she published A Vindication of the Rights of Women, a radical work that argued for women's education and independence. Wollstonecraft believed that women were not inherently inferior to men, but were held back by a lack of opportunity and education. Her writing challenged the status quo, calling for a society where both men and women could contribute equally. Though her ideas were controversial in her time, they became the cornerstone of modern feminist thought, influencing movements for women's rights across the centuries. Meanwhile, in 19th century America, Harriet Tubman was forging a path to freedom, literally. Born into slavery, Tubman escaped in 1849, but didn't stop there. She returned to the South multiple times, risking her life to guide over 70 enslaved people to freedom through the Underground Railroad. Tubman's courage and ingenuity earned her the nickname Moses of her people. During the Civil War, she served as a spy, nurse, and scout for the Union Army, further demonstrating her relentless dedication to justice. Harriet Tubman's life was a testament to resilience and the unyielding fight for freedom and equality. Our journey concludes with Florence Nightingale, a woman who revolutionized healthcare. Born in 1820 in England, Nightingale was drawn to nursing despite societal expectations. Her transformative work began during the Crimean War, where she drastically reduced mortality rates by implementing hygiene and sanitation reforms. Nightingale's legacy extended beyond the war. She established the first scientifically based nursing school, laying the foundation for modern healthcare. Her innovative use of statistics to improve medical practices demonstrated that compassion and science could work hand in hand. To this day, Florence Nightingale is celebrated as the founder of modern nursing and a champion of public health. From the imperial courts of Russia to the revolutionary writings of London, and from the fight for freedom in America to the battle for healthcare reform, these women changed the course of history. Their stories remind us that progress is driven by courage, vision, and determination. Stay tuned as we continue to uncover the stories of remarkable women throughout history. Throughout history, the fight for equality has been a constant battle, with countless heroines rising to the challenge. Today, we celebrate four iconic women: Susan B. Anthony, Emmeline Pankhurst, Rosa Parks, and Malala Yousafzai, whose courage and determination changed the world. From securing women's voting rights to championing education, their legacies remind us of the power of persistence and conviction. Our journey begins in the United States with Susan B. Anthony, a trailblazer in women's suffrage movement. Born in 1820, Anthony dedicated her life to fighting for equality. She believed that women should have rights to vote, a radical idea in her time. Anthony co-founded the National Women's Suffrage Association and worked tirelessly to rally support for women's voting rights. In 1872, she made history by casting a vote in the presidential election, an act of civil disobedience that led to her arrest. Although Susan B. Anthony did not live to see the passage of the 19th Amendment in 1920, her relentless advocacy paved the way for generations of women to exercise their right to vote. Her legacy is a testament to the power of determination and the belief that justice will prevail. Across the Atlantic in Britain, Emmeline Pankhurst was leading a similar charge for women's suffrage. Born in 1858, Pankhurst founded the Women's Social and Political Union, a militant organization known for its slogan, "Deeds, not words." Under her leadership, the suffragettes used bold tactics, from chaining themselves to railings to staging hunger strikes in prison. Pankhurst herself was arrested numerous times, but she never wavered in her mission. Her efforts culminated in the Representation of the People Act of 1918, granting voting rights to women over 30 in the UK. While this was not full equality, it was a monumental step forward, and Pankhurst's courage inspired countless activists around the globe. The fight for equality extended beyond gender, as racial discrimination continued to plague societies. In 1955, Rosa Parks became a symbol of resistance in the civil rights movement. On a December evening in Montgomery, Alabama, Parks refused to give up her seat to a white man on a segregated bus. Her quiet defiance led to her arrest, but it also ignited the Montgomery bus boycott, a pivotal moment in the struggle for civil rights. Rosa Parks' bravery inspired a movement that would change the course of history. Her actions showed that even the smallest acts of defiance can spark monumental change, proving that courage has no limits. In modern times, the fight for equality continues, and Malala Yousafzai stands as a beacon of hope for education rights. Born in 1997 in Pakistan's Swat Valley, Malala spoke out against the Taliban's ban on girls attending school. Her advocacy made her a target, and in 2012 she survived a brutal assassination attempt. But Malala's spirit remained unbroken. She continued to champion education for all, becoming the youngest ever recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize in 2014. Malala's story reminds us that the youngest voices can echo the loudest, and her relentless pursuit of education equality is an inspiration to millions worldwide. These four women, Susan B. Anthony, Emmeline Pankhurst, Rosa Parks, and Malala Yousafzai, fought different battles in different times, but their goal was the same: equality for all. Their stories remind us that progress requires courage, determination, and unwavering belief in justice. As we honor their legacies, we are called to continue the fight for a more equal and inclusive world. From the lab to the canvas, and from algorithms to government halls, women have defied norms and reshaped the course of history. Today we celebrate four extraordinary figures: Marie Curie, Ada Lovelace, Frida Kahlo, and Angela Merkel. Their contributions in science, technology, art, and leadership remind us that innovation knows no gender and that determination has the power to change the world. Our journey begins with the legendary Marie Curie, whose groundbreaking work in physics and chemistry shattered barriers in science. Born in 1867 in Warsaw, Poland, Curie's insatiable curiosity led her to Paris, where she conducted her groundbreaking research. Marie, alongside her husband Pierre, discovered the elements polonium and radium. Her work on radioactivity, a term she coined, earned her not one but two Nobel Prizes, one in physics and another in chemistry. She became the first person and remains the only woman to achieve this distinction. During World War I, Curie's innovative spirit extended beyond the lab. She developed mobile X-ray units, saving countless lives on the battlefield. Her relentless dedication to science and humanity cemented her as a trailblazer whose influence continues to radiate across the globe. Next, we travel back to the 19th century to meet Ada Lovelace, often regarded as the first computer programmer. Born in 1815 in London, Ada was the daughter of poet Lord Byron. However, her passion lay not in literature, but in mathematics and technology. Ada collaborated with Charles Babbage on his analytical engine, an early mechanical computer. She envisioned that this machine could go beyond mere calculations to create music, art, and more, a concept far ahead of its time. Her detailed notes, including what is recognized as the first algorithm, laid the foundation for modern computing. Though her work was underappreciated during her lifetime, Ada's visionary ideas have since inspired generations of innovators in the tech world. Art has long been a medium of self-expression and rebellion, and Frida Kahlo was its unyielding champion. Born in 1907 in Mexico, Kahlo endured immense physical pain after a devastating bus accident. Yet she turned her suffering into striking and surreal art. Frida's paintings explored themes of identity, gender, and the human experience. Her work was deeply personal, often drawing on her Mexican heritage and turbulent life. Despite facing societal expectations and chronic illness, Frida remained unapologetically authentic. Today, her art is celebrated worldwide, not only for its brilliance, but also for its defiance of conventions. Frida Kahlo's legacy reminds us that art has the power to heal, inspire, and provoke change. In the realm of leadership, Angela Merkel emerged as a pragmatic and steadfast force. Born in 1954 in East Germany, Merkel pursued a career in science, earning a doctorate in quantum chemistry. However, the fall of the Berlin Wall inspired her to enter politics, where she would go on to make history. As Germany's first female chancellor, Merkel served for 16 years, guiding her nation through economic challenges, global crisis, and shifting political landscape. Her approach to governance, often dubbed pragmatic patience, earned her widespread respect. Merkel's leadership style emphasized diplomacy, scientific reasoning, and a commitment to unity. Her tenure shaped not only Germany but also the European Union, solidifying her legacy as one of the most influential leaders of the 21st century. Marie Curie, Ada Lovelace, Frida Kahlo, and Angela Merkel. Four women from different eras and disciplines, united by their brilliance and determination. Their legacies remind us that innovation transcends boundaries, and their stories continue to inspire us to break barriers, pursue knowledge, and create a better world for all. Today, women are not only part of the conversation, they're leading it. From education to activism, compassionate leadership to global inspiration, the modern world is shaped by extraordinary women. In this video, we highlight four of these trailblazers: Michelle Obama, Jacinda Ardern, Greta Thunberg, and Oprah Winfrey. Their stories remind us that leadership, advocacy, and inspiration come in many forms. First, we meet Michelle Obama, a woman whose influence transcends her role as First Lady of the United States. Born on the south side of Chicago, Michelle's journey from a determined student to a globally recognized advocate is nothing short of inspiring. As First Lady, she championed causes close to her heart. Her Let's Move campaign tackled childhood obesity by promoting healthy eating and exercise. Through the Reach Higher initiative, she encouraged students to pursue higher education, emphasizing the power of knowledge to transform lives. Michelle's memoir, Becoming, not only shared her personal journey, but also inspired millions to embrace their own stories. Her authenticity, grace, and commitment to education and health continue to resonate with people around the world. Next, we travel to New Zealand, where Jacinda Ardern redefined leadership with compassion and resilience. Born in 1980, Ardern became one of the youngest world leaders when she took office as New Zealand's Prime Minister in 2017. Her leadership shone brightest during times of crisis. After the tragic Christchurch mosque shootings, Ardern responded with empathy and action, quickly implementing stricter gun laws. Her calm and decisive handling of the COVID-19 pandemic set an example for the world, saving countless lives. Ardern's leadership style, rooted in kindness and inclusivity, resonated globally. Balancing the demands of governance with motherhood, she reminds us that leadership is not about power, it's about people. From Sweden, we meet Greta Thunberg, a teenager whose voice sparked a global movement. Born in 2003, Greta's journey began with a single act of protest, striking from school to demand climate action. Her determination and clarity of message quickly gained traction. Greta's speeches, delivered with raw emotion and unwavering conviction, called out world leaders for their inaction. Her famous words, "How dare you," became a rallying cry for millions demanding change. Despite facing criticism and challenges, Greta stayed true to her cause. Her actions inspired the global Fridays for Future movement, proving that age is no barrier to making an impact. Greta Thunberg stands as a beacon of hope, reminding us that even one voice can change the world. Finally, we spotlight Oprah Winfrey, a woman who has inspired millions through her words, actions, and unwavering belief in the power of dreams. Born in 1954 in rural Mississippi, Oprah's journey from poverty to becoming one of the most influential women in the world is a testament to resilience and hard work. Her iconic talk show, The Oprah Winfrey Show, ran for 25 years, changing lives and tackling important issues. Oprah's influence extends beyond television. Her Golden Globe speech ignited hope for a new era of empowerment. Through her philanthropy, including the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa, she continues to invest in the next generation of leaders. Oprah's legacy reminds us that inspiration can come from our own stories, and that sharing those stories can change the lives of others. Michelle Obama, Jacinda Ardern, Greta Thunberg, and Oprah Winfrey. Four women, four unique journeys, one shared mission to create a better world. These stories remind us that leadership comes in many forms, and each of us has the power to make a difference. These are just some of the extraordinary women we will celebrate in this series. Their stories remind us of the power of courage, resilience, and vision. Join us as we uncover the legacies of more women who have shaped history. If you are inspired, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because their stories deserve to be heard by all.